Wake up, wake up.
I got the champagne. We're gonna need it.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Your favorite street plugs are here to deliver.
Good morning. It's your girl Bia
And your girl Key.
with another episode of Champagne Mornings, where we give you a whole lot real early in the morning.
And you might need some champagne with it.
We're going to start this show off with a segment that we do every day called It's Too Early for This. Key, what you got for us?
So, 2 women in Texas are accused of stealing an exotic baby goat.
An exotic baby goat. What makes it exotic?
It's called like a Nigerian dwarf goat.
So are they just like rare?
Probably, or endangered. It doesn't say, it just says it's an exotic goat. I researched it, gave me like 3 sites, all said the exact
I
same
didn't know
thing.
they had exotic goats. I know they had exotic fish, but exotic goat? That's
Listen,
weird.
Yeah. So, they stole the goat. It doesn't say how they stole the goat, but it just says they stole the goat. And the goat dies from stress of being away from it and, not taken care of properly.
Mm-hmm.
And what got to me is that it's 2 black girls. Like, what the fuck what y'all gonna do with a goat?
They might have been doing a dare. You know how black people are.
Maybe they got too lazy and didn't want to do their own lawn. They didn't want to mow the lawn and shit.
I've literally had somebody say that when they were driving with me, like, dang, that's a lot of property. I'd have to get some goats. Like, what? Yeah, to keep the grass down. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
That's
if you
the
would
only
rather
valid
clean up
reason.
poop instead of cut the grass.
Unless I got a riding thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I don't
definitely
like
would go with a riding lawnmower.
I just get a riding lawnmower, I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got another one for you.
What's that?
So this judge orders a man not to drink Pepsi while on probation. How he's going to uphold that, I don't fucking know.
Mm-hmm. Is that one of his triggers or something? I don't see why it would be hard not to. Like, okay, so I'll drink something else.
No, he went down for car theft. Like, I have no clue why Pepsi was included. And why specifically Pepsi. Can my nigga still drink Coke?
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make definitely too early for this. I'll say that because I don't even understand that.
My brain couldn't
in
process
any part.
those last night, or actually I found that one hella ago. But my brain couldn't process that shit when I was first reading it, so I don't understand.
Right. Anyways, did you hear about Jussie Smollett in the city of Chicago actually trying to sue him now?
You better hop on Tierra Marie's I Ain't Got It list.
Listen, they're trying to. Well, he got it. We
We
know
know
he
he
got
got
the
it.
money. They're trying to sue him because they want the money that it took to investigate the false charges, basically.
I've never heard no shit like that.
But this is my thing. When we talk about how Thirsty saved him, right? And he got the court documents sealed, and so the charges are dropped. If the charges are dropped and the court documents are sealed, you can no longer use any evidence that was in that against him. So how do you present a lawsuit? Like, what do you use to support your lawsuit against him? That's the part I don't understand. Like, what are you guys going to say?
What are you gonna say? We charged him for this case that we
He's
can't
not
discuss.
convicted. Yeah, he's not convicted for it. Any evidence that you were using that you said that were false allegations that you guys just tried to place on him are now in sealed documents, which means you can't use those no more.
Yeah, sounds like they're gonna take an L.
Like, you should have just took your L and moved on. You got to learn how to take L's in life, and the city of Chicago is not happy about this one
Not at all.
at all. But in some good entertainment news, Lindsey Harding, she's a black female, has become the first female assistant coach in the NBA.
That's dope.
For the Philadelphia 76ers. She used to play in the WNBA. She's played overseas. That's just dope in any aspect, because earning the respect of male players is
Hard
and
as
can
shit.
be really hard, for sure.
Facts.
Anyways,
Niggas don't know how to take their L's.
very true. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and play a song for you guys, and then we're going to get into our show. This next song that we have up on this list is by Millie Mac, Servo, and D Jack. The name of the song is Big Facts.
Say big bags, not no little shit. Pull like a big boss, you on that little shit. We gon' peel shit, I'm just waiting on that meal tick. Tell them real quick, I ain't copping no one seal brick. Easy 700, sitting on that gas pedal. All my prices going up, bitch, I'm on that level. When I go places, they know me, I'm on that level. If you real, you gotta show me, I'm on that level.
This one right here, this from my niggas. Gonna play this while you sliding. You a real one, you gon' feel this. I done took too many losses, now it's time I start winning. Got the 40 on me, I'm about mines, I'm about to make a killing. Hey, they got my brother, got me fucked up. But 2 trill, be cool, I'm gonna run it up. Now you gotta get some money just to fuck with us. It's been a long way out the mud, I got my paper up. Remember they would hate on us, now they tryna hang with us. Like bitches like I'm saving up. When I started out, I had nothing. Got the trap jumping, I am not fronting. And if you really about that bag, I can throw you something.
We take big bags, not no little shit. Pull like a big boss, you on that little shit. We gon' peel shit, I'm just waiting on that meal tick. Tell them real quick, I ain't copping no one seal brick. Easy 700, sitting on that gas pedal. All my prices going up, bitch, I'm on that level. When I go places, they know me, I'm on that level. If you real, you gotta show me, I'm on that level. Rock out like I'm Servo Hendrix, I ain't talking heavy metal. Ran it up, I feel athletic, I deserve a medal. Brody caught them VVS's, that shit very special. All my niggas boss, that's why my team little. Talk down on them and they might just let that beam hit you. If you ain't chasing no bag, I can't speak with you. Can't eat with you, shitting on them like I need tissue. Told yo bitch that I might have to go leave with you. Hey, I heard that paper, you ain't seen that. I fuck your bitch one time and you won't never see it back. Hey, big boss, I want a big stack. If I'm down bad, then you can get your shit snatched. Hey, most my niggas ain't with chit chat. Don't believe you rappers, I know you don't live that. Yeah, little nigga, that's just big facts. I just want them M's, bitch, I need them big racks. We take big bags, not no little shit. Pull like a big boss, you on that little shit. We gon' peel shit, I'm just waiting on that meal tick. Tell them real quick, I ain't copping no one seal brick. Easy 700, sitting on that gas pedal. All my prices going up, bitch, I'm on that level. When I go places, they know me, I'm on that level. If you real, you gotta show me, I'm on that level.
They can't save you in this club, I got this 40 tuck. I see you staring, I see you mugging, boy, you think you tough. Jump crazy and get your head took. Boy, my brother passed me a torch back in high school. I'm running through her mind like I'm the right dude. I'm counting up the bag, I'm in the right mood. And when the money's calling, that's when I make the move. All my bitches do what I say to. And if you're about your money, then I make two. Diamond shining in the space cool. Fresh as fuck in my space suit. Only way I'm coming out is if I'm paid to. Oh, that's your bitch? She on the blade too. She only doing what she made to. Ain't no saving the bitch, I'ma let her choose. PTS, money moves, we can never lose.
We take big bags, not no little shit. Pull like a big boss, you on that little shit. We gon' peel shit, I'm just waiting on that meal tick. Tell them real quick, I ain't copping no one seal brick. Easy 700, sitting on that gas pedal. All my prices going up, bitch, I'm on that level. When I go places, they know me, I'm on that level. If you real, you gotta show me, I'm on that level.
All right, again, Millie Mac, Big Facts. Make sure you guys tap into Street Plug Radio every day, 24 hours a day. We got the best music spinning for you. And then Champagne Mornings, of course, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 a.m. with me and Key. Thank you guys for tapping in. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the page. Give us a little heart. And if you are listening to this on YouTube, find Street Plug Radio. All you have to do is download an app called TuneIn, search Street Plug Radio, and then give us a little heart. And we'll pop up every time for you every time you open that app. So our conversation today, majority of it stemmed from one thing that I seen online. And it was a meme that said, who left a bigger legacy, Tupac or Nipsey Hussle? And when I seen this meme, it bothered me because I don't know if you can compare one person's legacy to another person's legacy, nor do I believe that you should take away from one person's legacy after their legacy's been built. Like, what are you taking away from them? They built that legacy.
I hate the whole comparison. Like, I feel like we're always comparing people and what they do and their work. It's fucking annoying. Like, I tell people all the time, like, you know, you can support more than one person, right? That's the thing. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm with you. I don't think they should be comparing the two legacies.
No. So this is the thing about a legacy. The legacy is what you leave behind when you die. Is what are you leaving behind when you die? Now, originally defined, you're talking about monetary things, land. The broadened definition of this is just what are you leaving behind, period. When people hear your name, what are they going to remember about you? Or your family name, if you've created something that big to where your family name is now known for multiple generations. You can be a grown adult and they're like, oh, you're Shalicia's kid. That means Shalicia built a legacy that you are now a part of just because you're part of that family. And a lot of people at least in the Black community for sure, we do this a lot where we compare one person to somebody who may be similar to them. For example, like they have with the Tupac and Nipsey. You got the same thing that they do with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Why are you choosing a side? Why do you have to be for Malcolm X or for Martin Luther King?
I will have that conversation today too, or I've had it recently, like in the state. Mm-hmm. Because people will be like, "Oh, well, Malcolm X," they choose a side, and I'd be like, "Look, both were very much needed. We needed that nigga that would pop off just as much as we needed that nigga to go and give speeches and be peaceful."
Well, they both gave speeches and they both were peaceful.
Nah, Malcolm X popped off.
Martin
was completely nonviolent, whereas Malcolm X wasn't with all the nonviolent. Don't try him.
No, so Martin Luther King did his speeches and everything, and he
I know
was
they
nonviolent.
both gave the speeches, but
Malcolm X did the same thing. Malcolm X just made it known that if you come at him, he's going to defend himself, and he's going to teach the people that they should defend themselves.
Exactly.
That doesn't
mean he was just going around popping off on people. I understand that.
Right.
But I'm just saying,
that's what
they
you
were
said.
both very much needed.
They are, and they're both needed in any society. But also, the thing about a legacy is you build your legacy.
You choose.
This is when you're creating a legacy. It's actually something that's consciously done while you're alive. It's left when you're dead, but it's done while you're alive. And also on top of that, people are going to remember like how you, even if they don't remember everything about you, they're going to remember how did this person make me feel. That's the impact that you're talking about. For example, when people were talking about the Nipsey Hussle thing, and I was reading through a lot of comments, there were some older males who grew up in Cali online commenting back and forth with people. And they're like, well, being from down here, we also know that Huey P. Newton was a prominent leader in the Black Panthers. But we also know that towards the end of his life, he was doing some things that were not so legit and robbing people. And it's like, well, nobody's going to remember that about him. Nobody even believed it when it happened. Because when Huey P. Newton died, Huey P. Newton was shot and killed, and they were saying that it was the person who did it said that they were doing a drug deal, and that Huey P. Newton pulled a gun out on him.
Right.
But nobody believed that because it's Huey P. Newton. Like,
he's not going to do a drug deal. He's not going to try to rob you for your drugs.
Why would he do that? He's Huey P. Newton. That's because he consciously built a legacy that outstood anything that you can say about him.
Facts.
Whether it was true or not. We're not talking about that. We're talking about what was the legacy.
What do you think when you think of Huey P. Newton?
And that's not it.
Not at all.
Because people, that's the thing. That's what people are going to remember, how you made them feel. Oh.
I don't think people will remember how you made them feel. I believe people remember what they want. Because how many people we know that wasn't shit when they was alive, and then they die, and then everybody's like, oh, he was an amazing man. No, bro, he whooped your ass 3 times a day. He wasn't an amazing man. He wasn't shit, bro.
Right. So what he did was whip this person's ass a million times a day. What they remember is how much they loved him, the emotional part of that connection. Whether it's true or whether it should be done like that or not, that's the same reason they stayed in that abusive relationship anyway.
True.
Because their connection to that emotion was stronger than what they were feeling physically.
Y'all bitches need to get y'all life together.
Right. But that's what we're saying. So like, just
That's
for
true.
example, you might run into somebody that you didn't like in high school. You don't even remember why you didn't like that person in high school, but the feeling that you got when you seen that person, that's what
that
you remember.
Just happened.
That
I
energy.
just seen somebody and was like, I don't like that bitch. I don't remember why I don't like that bitch, but I don't like that bitch. Mm-hmm. So I kept that energy.
Exactly, because that's how you felt. You remember that.
Yeah.
I remember this bitch pissed me off enough for me to
fuck
remember that.
bitch, right?
Like, that's all I needed. That's all you need to know sometimes.
Facts.
Sometimes when you go to tell a person a story about something, you might not even recall the facts, and they're trying to really get it. Like, but what happened? Listen. It doesn't even matter at this point. Like, the point is,
I'm pissed.
right now, like, yeah, and I don't like her, and that's it.
Facts.
You know? So, anyways, with all this talk about legacies and other people's legacies, there's no way you can talk about somebody else's without thinking about what we're leaving behind, right?
Facts.
Because legacies are not built on accident. That's my note. It says legacies are not done by accident, and that's true. You have to consciously build your legacy, again, while you're alive, to be left when you're dead, right? People are going to talk about you. And then the saying that happens a lot of time is preparation meets opportunity. My takeaway on that was, or does your preparation create opportunities for you?
I feel like preparation creates opportunities. I feel like it's a mix. I feel like sometimes opportunities just fall at you. But like that happens. Some people are lucky.
And you got to be ready for it.
And you got to be ready for it. But sometimes you being prepared and you making shit happen, other people see that and then give you opportunities as well. Or you being prepared opens opportunities. You're now working in the correct spot, so you were put in the position to get this opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot. People are going, no matter what you do, good, bad, mediocre, people are going to talk about it.
Facts.
And when people begin to talk, the greater it is. Obviously, the more people are going to talk about you, so you need to be prepared for that. But immediately what I thought about is like somebody who does athletic training at a gym. They're going to do that athletic training. They're probably going to do it no matter what. But if they're going hard, doing their athletic training, and then all of a sudden now they're getting random calls to go to this event or to go that event because somebody that heard the work that they're putting in over here, they heard about the work that they're putting in over there. That's the kind of conscious things that you have to do. I'm going to be here, do this, because if I do this at this spot, it's probably going to get me seen one way or another.
Facts.
You know, all conscious things that happen. I read somewhere that if you can control what you eat, you can control almost everything around you.
Did you read that from Dr. Sebi?
No, actually I didn't. I just read it online. But
I can't control what I eat because sometimes my body be like, you eating this, and I be like, all right, body, I'm gonna listen.
I think most people are like that, for sure. I thought it was, I don't know. I think it was pretty powerful because I think that's one of the hardest things to control.
What you eat, I agree. Especially with time, like sometimes you want something but you can't get to it. Being out and about, like our busy ass lives where we might leave in the morning and not come home till after midnight type shit. Like that makes controlling what you eat hard.
Right.
And then cravings are just real. Cravings be real as fuck.
But I actually learned that if you're craving something really bad, you do your body more harm keeping yourself from having it. What you should do is when you're craving something extremely bad, you should get some of it, but in moderation so that you actually satisfy your craving.
So you telling me to go eat some chicken wings right now?
You can.
I'm going to be sick as shit.
But the happy endorphins that you're going to give your body from taking that bite is actually going to benefit your body really well.
I don't feel like being sick all day. I got work.
I wouldn't suggest it. That's probably more of a mental thing anyway than it is a real craving.
I think it's definitely a mental thing. But nigga, some chicken wings sound fire.
Which brings us to the next point of building a legacy: mental stability and perseverance.
Oh, so you just call me mentally unstable.
Mental stability is the most important thing, I would say, because you're going to get a lot of shit that comes your way when you're trying to build something, no matter what. And then perseverance just works right along with that because you got to keep going. Otherwise, everything that you did before don't even matter.
You gotta start all the way over.
Have a plan, execute it, and then also knowing that how it may be executed may change. So my goal in life, my legacy, which is a very clear picture in my head, I know where I want to be. How I get that,
We have an active discussion continually about our legacy and what we want. I think that helps because we're continually talking about it. We're holding each other accountable. Those around us hold us accountable. Like, it's not something that you've decided in your head, which I think would be harder if it was like just me. I decided this in my head versus we have a team around us.
Right. And then understanding and being flexible enough to know that how you execute this plan may have to change. You may have to alter. It didn't work out like you thought it was going to work out. Your goal doesn't change. Just how you obtain that goal then changes.
Ours has changed like 5 times.
And it may continue.
In like, we started our businesses 2-3 years ago now?
It'll be 3 years in July.
It's changed so much from that. Both of our businesses have.
Yeah, facts. And the people who are part of your legacy and your plans as you go may change as well. L Rock had a status the other day. It said,
Which one?
L Rock.
Which L Rock though? Are we talking about Larry or Leandre?
Leandre. He had a status the other day that said, I used to want to win with all the people who told me I would win. Now I want to win with all the people helping me make it a reality.
Hey, I said that, but kind of different. I was talking to Hannah, I think, and she was like, when you used to have when you used to say you didn't have friends, you still had them. She was like, now you say you don't have friends, and you don't. Like, it's either you're with Street Plugs or you're with me. And I was like, I don't have the time to put energy into people that aren't trying to get me further in life. If you're not holding me accountable, if you're not keeping me on my shit, if I'm not keeping you on my shit, your shit, what are you around for?
Right, for sure. And one of the things that I thought that when that came to me is that a lot of people will believe that you can do something. Like, they know that you can do it, but they don't want to help you get there as well. For example, I had the manager back in the day when I applied for a specialist position at my job, and she told me that she had no doubt in my mind that I could do the job, but she wasn't going to give me the position for whatever her reason was. She verbalized that. Like, I have no doubt. And then asked me to help somebody do the job that she didn't want me to get. Which of course I didn't.
All the way from
yeah, which of course I didn't do. I told her that, no, remember, I'm not getting this job, so I must not be qualified to do this. Even though I know I'm overqualified and I know how to do it. You know what I mean?
You're basically doing it.
But that's the thing. But when she said that, in my head, it was so funny when I talked about it later. I felt more offended that she had the audacity to actually say that to me. Like,
I can't believe she put that into words and said it to your face too.
yeah, like you have no, like, you know, I can do it, but you're just not going to give me that position, but you know that I can do it. And then,
did you get her fired?
No, she ended up leaving with, she's a trailing spouse. So her, even though she was, no, with the job that I work.
Oh, she was somebody else's spouse. Okay.
Yeah. So she, even though she was in a pretty high position, her husband was even in an even higher position. So obviously when they move together in the company and go to whatever new location that they're at. But yeah.
You know where she's at? I mean, she ain't your boss no more. We can go see her from the shoulders.
That was a learning experience. That's not something to be angry about. That just goes to show everything that I already know in physical form.
That reminds me of the bar off Paradise's song. Niggas could have been helped me out. They did otherwise. It's facts.
He didn't want to. And I thought, so when I read that, I actually saved that post like immediately. I was like, oh yeah, that's real.
That's facts.
That's real. Does your plan change just because the people around you change? How much does someone who does not hold the capacity, influence your moves. So some people are just not going to get it.
At all.
There's a lot of work that we do all the time, and people are like, why? And some things are not going to be able to explain. If you don't understand why I'm doing this, if you don't understand these moves I'm making, there's no point in trying to explain it to you.
I stopped explaining myself to people. Because especially like when I worked at State Farm with you, people around me, we talk about, oh, what's your future? And people like, oh, I want to stay with the company for so-and-so amount of years. I used to tell people like, I don't want to work past 30. I'm not working past 30. You got me fucked up. And they'd be like, you're young. You still got a lot of years of work ahead of you. And I used to be like, nah, bitch, you got a lot of years of working at this job ahead of you. I'm not working a desk job that long. I don't plan on working a desk job or for anybody but myself past like 25. That's my goal.
But worker bees are needed in the world. Like, we're going to need some under us to make the dream stay alive.
That's just not who I should associate myself with, I feel.
No, yeah, and I agree with that as well. Like, those are the type of people that, one, you're not going to give me any advice on how I should live my life because you don't have the same goals in it that I do. And then my mom has said, and I tried to find this post, and I could not remember exactly when she sent it to me, so I never found it. But my mom had sent me a post some time ago that had said something along the lines of, sometimes you're not getting any further because you're dealing with somebody who's already at their full capacity.
Damn.
So when you get to a point where your cup is overflown, you're going into, it's just pouring into a cup that's already full as well. So it's just getting wasted. You have to deal with somebody that has the same open capacity as you so that when you pour into them, they have what they need to be able to take it in, And I was like, it immediately made me think of like other past relationships, and that doesn't mean boyfriend, girlfriend, any type of relationship that I've had where I'm like, that's exactly what happened. Like they don't even have the capacity to get what I'm saying. They don't have the capacity to receive what I'm trying to pour into them anyway. You know what I mean? Those type of people probably don't have a place in your legacy. They probably don't have a place in your legacy, tongue-tied. You know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. And the people who are criticizing, and Nipsey Hussle actually said this in one of his interviews, the people who criticize you are never the people who are doing better for you. They're only the people who are doing worse. Because if they were doing better than you, they'd have no reason to criticize you.
Unless it's constructive.
Speaking of the word negatively, without the constructive in front of it. Otherwise, he would have said constructive criticism.
Facts.
It's two totally different things.
On our topic of legacy, Bia, what's your legacy look like?
My legacy looks like greatness. Well, it does. I believe that my legacy is in multiple different avenues. I believe it's in building a platform where my family benefits from everything that I've built, that they have opportunities afforded to them just by being associated with me. My legacy looks like being productive for my Black community, whether they truly understand the concept of what I'm trying to do or not. I want people to know that Tralicia really was trying her best to move our community forward. Building my own community. My legacy definitely involves me having my own community, me educating our youth in the way that they should be educated, period. What does that look like? Way too complex to tell you guys on an episode of Champagne Mornings.
But just know we've discussed it, we've plotted it, we've planned it. But yeah, our community is going to be dope. Hella block parties.
Big facts. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyways, we're going to quit talking about this right now. We're going to go ahead and get back into some music, come back and finish the show. The name of this song that we have, Cameron Chanel, whole team.
Hey, that's a perfect song.
Facts.
Kimmy too cold, tapped in like a motherfucker. Whole team. Bitch, my whole team. Yeah. Hey. Whole team pretty, whole team shitting, whole team winning. No beginners, whole team with it, whole team shining, whole team grinding big, getting money, whole team. shit and whole team winning. No beginners, whole team with it, whole team shining, whole team running big, getting money, whole team climbing to the top. Bitch, we big climbing. Whole team bad, whole team bougie, whole team ballin' like switch, whole team shooting, whole team chasing hella bags, whole team jugging. All boss bitches, nigga, got the whole team looking itty bitty, pretty little bitch. Flex game stupid, I ain't in the love, nah, nigga, bitch, I ain't Cupid. He say I'm a dog, I'm like, shit, yeah, you been new it. Stop calling my phone, little nigga, bitch, you been blue it. All white kicks, bitch, I'm popping, yeah, I been mobbing. You just started spinning, little baby, I been copping. You ain't got no money, broke, bitch, why you still talking? Pull up game stupid on these hoes while y'all still walking low. Hoes, stop, I'm chasing bags, you ain't never seen. OP up the gang, my big click, yeah, you know the team. Pretty is what pretty does, what you need, I got that. He call me the plug, cause when I plug him, he gon' call back. Going like a rocket, bitch, I'm popping like a bottle, huh? Little pretty bitch, yeah, she gon' pop it when the bottom's up. Straight to the back, what you think? Tell him, give me that. I don't want your nigga, break your nigga, then I send him back. Hey, big whole team pretty, whole team shit, and whole team winning. No beginners, whole team with it, whole team shining, whole team grinding big, getting money, whole team climbing to the top. Bitch, we big climbing. Hey, whole team pretty, whole team shit, and whole team winning. No beginners, whole team with it, whole team shining, whole team grinding big, getting money, whole team climbing to the top. Bitch, we big climbing.
Whole team winning, whole team different. Got the shot, ain't talking Scotty Pippen with the pop up, get the tripping. Call him sis, she get the flipping. We don't do that fake ass dissing, don't do that fake ass sitting. We don't do them fake ass missions. Say you bout it, so pull up. My whole team, we gon' count up. If there's problems, we gon' round up. Don't overstep your bound with us. Fuck niggas you can't trust, they ain't even worth a nut. Might as well playing for them bucks and get the fuck up off the cuss. Check the bag in the major way, different states making major plays. Me and my team gon' eat today. We gon' have a couple plays. Gotta eat in that fucking shade. Don't matter if it rain, don't matter if I'm in pain. I'm still gon' chase the change just to see a fucking change. You ain't bought that fucking bankroll, get the fuck up out my face. Bro, we ain't the same. Made them eat it until I can't. Keep his ass all up in the rain. Baby, I'm not your main. This pussy you cannot tame. This water you cannot hang. These digits you cannot rank. Your money not in my range. You really not what you claim. Them diamonds faking your chain. You really a fucking lame. Your whole team said it. You really ain't even game, bitch.
Whole team pretty, whole team shit, and whole team winning. No beginners, whole team with it, whole team shining, whole team grinding big, getting money, whole team climbing to the top. Bitch, we big climbing. Whole team pretty, whole team shit, and whole team winning. No beginners, whole team with it, whole team shining, whole team grinding big, getting money, whole team climbing to the top. Bitch, we big climbing.
Again, that was Whole Team by Cameron Chanel. Cammy Too Cold. Shout out to her. Make sure you guys look her up on all platforms. We're going to end this episode here shortly. Last thing I wanted to do was actually, a positive and negative fuck the police.
A positive and negative fuck the police? How do you positively fuck the police?
Well, because both ends of it are police. So we have 3 police officers who were awarded $700,000 in a settlement due to basically racism that they were experiencing. They filed a grievance. They filed a grievance against the New York PD.
Okay, that matters because a lot of police won't speak out. Mm-hmm. They just take that shit.
Yep. So it was 3 of them. They've been battling it for 2 years. And John McCollum, Roland Steffens, and Theodore Coleman are the 3. Roland Steffens actually ended up passing away during this time period. And so
his family got it.
His $700,000 was awarded to his wife. But yeah, it's fuck the police because obviously the police department was still treating them unjustly. And that's what fuck the police is about, is the injustice of the police department. But a shout out to the 3 men who didn't just take the shit, filed a grievance, and in turn ended up getting $700,000 each.
Let me get $700,000. I've experienced racism in my life, or I'll go file that.
I know, shit.
But no facts. Shout out to them 3 because That's a big problem with police. When that's why I don't listen when people be like, "Oh, there's good cops in the world." Like there may be cops that aren't portraying racism, but they're not speaking up against other cops, and that's where it becomes a problem. That's where you're still a fucking bad cop.
Right. Okay, so we end this episode every day with a black business. You got a black business for us, Key?
I do. It's called Swanky Designs.
Slinky or Swinky?
Swanky.
Swanky. Okay.
Swanky Designs. It's this girl. She makes earrings. Hella cute earrings, bro. And they're like hand painted. Some of them are made out of clay, you know, hoops and shit. So, you know.
I love like natural clay and stone jewelry. Like I literally love.
I love them too. I
those
like jewelry
things.
though, but
Yeah.
you know, but her shit's cute as hell. So I'll post her up. You guys go buy your girls some jewelry. Girls, buy yourself some jewelry. Everybody come up.
Facts. Make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms at Street Plug DJs. If you're on YouTube listening to this again as we end this episode, make sure you guys subscribe to the page and make sure you download TuneIn. It's a free app where you can listen to Street Plug Radio 24 hours a day. Just search Street Plug Radio. Make sure you guys give us a heart, favorite the station so that we pop up every time for you. And follow my personal page on Instagram, Bia_King.
Follow mine as well at Pretty Simple Key.
Facts. Appreciate you guys, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in to Champagne Mornings.
Street Plug DJ.